What's up, Michigan fans? Welcome to, I guess I'll call it the inaugural episode of the Wolverine Roundtable podcast. It's been a long time coming. Probably should have been doing this as the season was going on, but now that the season is over, we can step back and take a look at everything kind of in a big picture way, talk about what's happening in the coming weeks and then for the future of the program, for the future of Sherrone Moore. Got a lot of stuff that we can talk about. Joining me, some newcomers to the scene. I've been on the Michigan beat now for like 12 years, I think is my run. I was there for Brady Hope's last year, all of Harbaugh, and then obviously what Sherrone Moore has done so far. Super excited to finally, I guess, formally introduce. We did a little bit of an introduction on like Twitter and Facebook and stuff, but to actually see the faces and hear these guys a little bit, we've got Zach Besaw, aka Sauce. By the way, if you hear me or Dakota call him Sauce, like that's probably just going to come out just to play on his last name. Plus, he's a pretty saucy guy. And then Dakota Allen as well. Both of these guys have been covering Michigan all season. We launched the Roundtable website. I think it was week one, right?
Yeah,
Maybe right after the first week. It was kind of like right in that wheelhouse of when the season was starting. So we've been there the whole time. These two guys got to go to the Ohio State game last week. I've been before. They only allowed us 2 credentials. I said, you know what? Let's put the new guys on the beat. Let them go to that game. I don't know, fellas. I'll let you talk about it for a minute. We all know the outcome, obviously, at this point. It didn't go very well for Michigan. It started off looking like, you know what, dude, damn it, these Wolverines might have it figured out again. But then
started out on fire.
Fell off pretty quick. So I guess real quick, yeah, Zach, if you want to start, man, like
Yeah,
it's
one thing.
obviously a huge game. The game was still crazy. I'm sure the environment looked like a damn sea of red. I don't know. You can talk about that a little bit too, but yeah, just the experience of being there for Ohio State, Michigan.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, man. I was really surprised how much red was there. I mean, Michigan clearly sold a lot of tickets. Like, it was mostly on the visitor side. I'll give them that. Like, you could tell the home side was still maize and blue, but I mean, huge student section turnout. They were there early, but a lot of red. Surprisingly, really noticeable after the game when all the red went down to the bowl.
Yeah.
Dude, it was too much. Yeah, too many tickets sold. But yeah, overall, I mean, Michigan did take a beating, but started out great.
I know. It looked
a lot of excitement.
It looked like they were going to find a way again. I mean, last year they had no business winning in Columbus and somehow did. Big underdog again this year. And then, second play of the game, I think it was, Jair Hill gets an interception. You're like, wow, they're going to do something again. But the offense all day, yeah, man, the offense all day, they scraped out 3 field goals the whole day. Dakota, Zach and I went to more games this year together than you and I did, but
yeah,
it was kind of not going theme. Dude, Michigan's offense just not able to score that much. Kind of a boring. I mean, I don't know what it felt like being there, but I know many times me and Zach would be sitting next to each other and just like, dude, are they gonna score? Are they gonna move the ball? Like, what's happening? I'm sure it felt like that on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little misleading because of the way the game started. I mean, there's a lot of excitement as the kickoff goes, and then Michigan doesn't start off too bad, right? They rip off like a 25, 30-yard run or something like that. And we're looking at each other like we're in business, right? Get the field goal, that kind of stunk, but it's like some points, some momentum. And then we get the interception. It's like we're right back in it. And same thing happened. So, it didn't take too much longer after that to really realize like there was just nowhere to go. Like there might have been a run there. And, it's a football game. It's a long game. You're going to get a couple runs here and there in a game like this. But there was really not one. I think there was one. McCauley had a catch, was it? I forget who had a really good catch over the middle there. That was the biggest aha moment that we probably had in that game. And so it was just disappointing. And then, of course, being there in the press box, seeing the coordinators run down, it was just like he just had nothing to say other than like, I mean, there you go.
Yeah, Ohio State coordinators were pumped when they got out of that box. They ran right by us, and then you see Biff just slowly walking, he's cursing actually, and you're just like, man, I feel you, dude. Like, it was tough. I can't imagine what that felt like as a coach.
Yeah, I mean, I've been there, going back to when they the first win of 4 in a row. The other side of that, the Michigan coach. I mean, the amount of joy. Oh my God, dude! Like, it was unbelievable. It was kind of the same feel outside. The snow was kind of coming down. It was really picturesque. Aiden Hutchinson had the huge game, and the coordinators were going insane. I mean, insane. And I can imagine like Ohio State, kind of getting the monkey off their back a little bit and getting the first one in 5 or 6 years. It probably felt pretty good for them. But yeah, that sucks, man. It sucks as a Michigan person, fan, beat writer, media person to see, them celebrating like that in Ann Arbor. But to Dakota's point, it didn't take too long to realize like it just doesn't look like Michigan has it today.
Yeah, another thing, while Dakota and I were walking to the press interviews, so many cheers. Like, Dakota's like, we cannot get through these people. They're just yelling OH all over. Like,
oh, man.
And then again,
you can't even
talk. You can't even say anything other than
you
feel
just
like
laugh. I mean,
it was tough.
But there was a lot of cheers, a lot of Ohio State, big turnout, man. That's sad, but yep.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens when it kind of has an outcome that you think is going to happen.
Real deal.
Yeah, you think it's going to happen. I mean, like Michigan fans wanted to believe, but Ohio State's been the best team in the country all year. They looked like it on Saturday. Michigan couldn't do anything on offense. Ohio State's defense is the real deal. I remember beginning of the year.
I didn't expect
Matt
that.
Patricia. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
Like, as Lions fans, we're like, that's hilarious. Well,
turns out he's smart.
Yeah, we're not laughing anymore because they've been dominant, dude. Like, dominant.
Yes, I think that if Michigan didn't win last year, I think there wouldn't have been much hope at all entering this game.
Gave maybe some false hope.
Yeah,
I think even someone like you said that covers them, follows them, that's been a fan for a while, just was like, well, if last year could happen, this year at the Big House might even be a little easier, and we found out pretty quick. So
yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate for Michigan fans that went. It's unfortunate for the Michigan fans that sold their tickets because on TV too, it was. I mean,
you could see it. Yeah,
it was very, very noticeable. It was obviously pointed out on social media. Look at all the Ohio State taking over the Big House.
I was wondering if Fox even mentioned anything about it or what.
I don't remember them specifically saying anything, but they showed the crowd a lot, and there was a lot of red. I mean, you could certainly see that.
We're not far, I guess. I mean, what is it for?
Yeah, I mean,
maybe
the trip isn't long, and Ohio State's going to travel well all the time anyway. Michigan does too when they're on the road. I mean, I can think back to when Dakota and I went to the game at Wrigley Field. I mean, that was basically a home game for Michigan. I mean, so
same commute. Yeah.
Big time teams travel well. Chicago is like a Michigan city, and again, Ohio State, when they're confident, they feel like they're going to win, they will show up because it's their whole everything.
They've had this circled for 4 years.
No doubt. There's no doubt. So that's kind of the, you can dive into the statistics of the game all you want. I don't know if it's really necessary at this point. Bryce Underwood was very underwhelming, whether it's his fault, play calling, the fact that you didn't have much of a running game to lean on with Justice Haynes out. Jordan Marshall tried to give it a go, but couldn't, even after his big run to start the game, like Dakota mentioned.
And then he got hurt, right? And then
then he's out.
So that was the other. That's like, that was. I think
Andrew Marsh, 0 stats.
Yeah,
we got in the elevator after the game, and Zach and I were just sitting there with a bunch of people at once. And I think one guy said it, and it was from the Michigan side. He goes, "I think if Marshall would have been healthy, we could have won that game." And I kind of thought to myself, like,
was he playing the offensive line or what?
Yeah,
the trenches were just very lopsided. I mean, especially in the second half, that was a whole different team.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt it would have been better, but I mean, to say that even both of them beat back in 100%, I just,
I don't know if Barry Sanders would have changed the game,
Exactly, man. That defense was really good. They showed up. They played extremely well. Didn't give up a single touchdown against the Wolverines. Settle up for 3 field goals.
One-dimensional team. They were.
All right, so with Ohio State in the rear view a little bit, let's talk a little bit about kind of what.
Vanderbilt or Texas?
I was going to say Michigan's going to get a decent bowl game, and hopefully, hopefully that's a good experience. You do get the 15 extra bowl practices, like that's big for the team and the roster and the coaches. They love that. Michigan fans are going to say like, "Oh, cool."
Huge for the freshmen. I mean, what?
It is.
6 starting freshmen, like that's big just to get these practices in.
It is. It's a big deal to get that many practices and to get that much more time with your team and to get ready for another. I mean, quality opponent's going to be against a good team. I've seen, Vanderbilt, Texas, I think Tennessee's been thrown around. So it's going to be a pretty solid
SEC, most likely
SEC team in the Citrus Bowl in Orlando. Like that's the projection. That seems to be what makes sense. That's the team, that's the bowl game that takes a Big Ten team at the top and a SEC team at the top that didn't make the playoffs. So that's a good game. Now it'll be okay, does anybody sit out? Is anybody just going to pack it in? You know, we're in a different age of college football now, where even a good bowl game doesn't mean much if it's not the playoff. I mean, it just is what it is.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, I mean, would you guys personally care who it's against? I mean, in terms of covering it, do you think Michigan has a chance against a Texas, a Tennessee, a Vanderbilt?
I don't know. I think Texas is better than what their record is. Personally, I think they're a good team. They lost to some good teams. I mean,
They lost to
they lost to Ohio
State
State. That's
and that was a pretty close game, right?
Yeah.
the one bad loss. I think maybe Florida. They may have lost to.
Yeah, I mean they're sitting there with
bad loss.
they're sitting there with 3 losses, I believe, as well, right? You can
Yeah.
Dakota, if you, I mean, just I don't expect you guys to take a deep dive into the rosters of Texas or Tennessee or Vanderbilt, but I'm with you. Texas, I mean, you'd think would have the best talent. They've obviously Arch Manning. Is
Yeah,
a huge
some say him being a first round draft pick. You know, if he would go to the draft this year. I've read. I don't know how valid that is, but
I mean, he's had some downs. Certainly, he was kind of the talk of the. You know, they just came off the big win over Texas A&M to give them their first loss of the season.
Saw him
so
running.
like, that, you know, Texas is no slouch. Okay, so yeah, they. I mean, dude, their 3 losses are at Ohio State in the season opener, 14-7.
Barely.
14-7. Yep.
They did lose at Florida. That's not the best looking loss
Terrible.
at this point. 29-28. It was in the Swamp.
At least it was
Tough place to
close.
play.
Yeah.
And then you lose at Georgia. I mean, like that's
Yeah.
it.
Who's going to the SEC championship, right?
Right. So yeah, then you just, like I said, you just come off the big.
Be a tough game. Real tough game. But how many do they sit?
I think the last time Michigan played, we got. It was a pretty bad game. Texas.
I don't see a lot of Wolverines sitting because they're so young. Personally, I mean,
yeah.
Whereas Texas may have, some more older guys there, but
yeah, it's if you're a bowl committee though, that's like Texas, Michigan,
dude,
bro.
so much money coming in.
You can't find a better matchup than that in terms of
for a non-playoff game.
No doubt.
It'll be busier
You're
than
gonna
some
have
of these
Matthew
playoff
McConaughey
games.
on the sidelines. You're gonna have Charles Wood on the side. All right.
Dude, McConaughey down there. Listen, if we go to the game, I will make it a goal for us to do a shot with McConaughey, dude. Because he'll be in the house, dude. We can light. You know it. You got a joint. It'd be a lot cooler if you did. You know, I mean, dude, if you can party down with McConaughey, dude, down in Florida, I mean, it don't get much better than that. But I think that matchup would be pretty fun. I think that one would be the best of the 3. Vanderbilt's kind of been a cool team this year. Diego Pavia's, in the Heisman running. I think he's still Vanderbilt's still making a case to make the playoff. I don't think they get in, but they're making a case for it.
We'll find out tonight, I guess. Huh?
Yeah, we'll have some clarity tonight as we're recording this on Tuesday afternoon. We'll have some clarity about that tonight. We'll have some ideas about where Michigan will play and who they'll play within the next probably 24, 48 hours. We'll have that figured out. And if it is that Citrus Bowl in Florida, that'll be I think it's a New Year's
Eve this year,
Eve game.
Yeah.
But that'd be a lot of fun to be down there and cover. Hopefully we can get 3 credentials. I don't know. We'll see how that works. But I'm telling you, boys, for guys who have not done it before, bowl week it makes being a beat writer worth it for the whole season. I mean, they treat you very, very well. The food, the activities, the experiences, all the things you get to do. It's a lot of fun. It'll be down in Florida, obviously, and hopefully for a potentially big game. So we'll take a deeper dive into that once we know exactly who the opponent is. It doesn't make a lot of sense to talk about Texas for 20 minutes right now. Then they're playing Tennessee or Vanderbilt. So
who knows?
but that's kind of what it's looking like as Michigan's trying to figure out who they'll play. All right, Dakota. You just put an article out over at Roundtable. And I think it's live now, by the way. It is going to be WolverineRoundtable.com. That's going to be our vanity URL. So that's just a little house cleaning thing there. I don't know if it's live yet, but anyway.
It's live. I just tested it.
Is it live?
We're live, boys. Yeah.
Beautiful. So no longer will you have to type roundtable.il / whatever the hell, is the long thing. WolverineRoundtable.com.
Tell everyone.
Dakota put an article out about Sherrone Moore and his future. I think that's the biggest topic of discussion right now. Is he the guy? Is he in over his head? Why didn't Bryce Underwood develop more throughout the course of a 12-game season? So Dakota, I mean, if you want to take the floor and point a couple things out that you put in that article, I mean, I don't think this is an inappropriate discussion to have. I'm not saying put him in a cannon and blast him to the moon today.
Yeah.
But I think
I mean,
there's
it's
some
kind of
real
annoying
discussions.
to think early on. I mean, it's definitely annoying to have this conversation early
seasons,
on. We were talking in our group message and roundtable about like, him, who he is and where he is at and why he's here. So like before he came to Michigan and became the head coach, I really didn't know who he was. And then it's like, okay, he kind of was in a perfect circumstance and with JJ McCarthy, the O-line he had, the talent and depth he had. And so, he just worked his way up the ranks. And obviously he's a pretty likable guy through the players. The players respond to him. But I don't know. Zach and I went to the presser after the game and he was physically like shaken up, had tears in his eyes. I mean, you want to be upset about the game. I'm just like, Harbaugh never went up there crying. Like he went up there like, man, let's do something about this. Like, we don't have a bad story anymore. We want to be like, there's some accountability he took, but there's just like a demeanor that you want to have after that game. And seeing him then and there, I just was like, dude, I don't know if this is our guy. And to that point, there wasn't like a lot to defend him throughout the season, right? Like, oh, well, at least he was like coming up with creative plays with Chip Lindsey or like letting the offense loose or it was really developing. There was like not a lot of momentum like there was last year, right? Beating Ohio State, beating Alabama, then coming into this year with this, $1 million quarterback situation. It just didn't pan out as good as people think. And that's fine too, but it doesn't seem like there's a lot of hope behind, what we've seen for these 12 games. So
yeah, I mean, last season's overall record was not good, but you're right. I mean, you finished on 2 very high notes. You flipped Bryce Underwood. You're excited about the future and what he's going to look like, and then it just wasn't really there. I mean, people are still saying, and I don't know, when Sherrone was out and Biff was running the team, and they're like, that was the best the offense looked all year was when Sherrone wasn't there. I don't know if that's Nebraska probably wasn't as good as people thought maybe at the time, but that was a road win. And then they played Central. I just don't know how much you can put on that, but it did look and feel a little bit different. It did. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that. I don't know. So with Sherrone, I'm torn in a lot of ways because, and part of this is completely personal, and I'll admit it. I knew him when he was at Central Michigan. I was doing some volunteer graphic recruiting work back in the day. I mean, you're talking 8 or 7, 8 years ago now, whatever it was. And I got to know him pretty well, and I liked him a lot. And he was at my alma mater, and I'm like, yeah, dude, helping out the Chips, man, this is great. I love it. Then he goes to Michigan, pretty much stops communicating with me altogether. I'm like, all right, cool. All right, that's how you want to roll, fine.
But I mean, had Sherrone Moore offensive line, right?
But tons of success early. Like Dakota said, climbing the ladder.
OC.
And now I just feel like he's trying to like copy Jim Harbaugh in a lot of ways, and he's not Jim Harbaugh. And I just feel like I don't know, man. I just know that at a lot of points this year, I thought he was way too conservative. I thought he wasn't creative enough with his offense. And this is where I come back to, whose offense was it really? How much was Chip Lindsey just doing 100%?
Did it change?
Bro.
Last year versus this year? I can't say that I saw a lot of change between coordinators.
I didn't know I was going to talk about this. I wish I had the numbers in front of me, but I do you guys know I do another podcast with Grant Perry on the Belief Network, and we talked about the difference between Chip Lindsey, and the formations and the personnel that he runs at North Carolina, and then how it looks. It's nothing like what he's doing in Michigan. I mean, nothing. I mean, the 2 and 3 tight end sets all the time at Michigan. Never did that at North Carolina. Having a fullback on the field, never did that at North Carolina. So, like, to me,
he's got his hands in there pretty firm,
telling.
I would say.
Yeah, that's pretty telling that it's not Chip Lindsey's offense. And
what's the point of bringing in these different guys if it's going to look the same?
Exactly. I mean, there's so many people who have said that.
I had so much excitement for this new offense. Like, we're going to be slinging it down the field, dude. We got this transfer receiver from Indiana. We got this freshman phenom.
And, I mean, McCauley looks like a
bubble
stud.
screen.
I mean, McCauley looks like a stud.
9 touchdowns and 6 interceptions.
Bro, 9 passing touchdowns for the year.
Was that compared to Julian saying, what's that? What's the difference there?
And I'll say this, man. And I don't want to brag about the opposition, but like he played great. Sane made some great throws, kind of to backtrack to what we talked about earlier, compared to where Bryce is at. I didn't know a lot about Julian Sane. Obviously, number 1 team in the country, quarterback leading the team. But I mean, the dude's playing in a blizzard and dropping dimes.
Dude,
I mean, I couldn't really believe it, and I didn't expect him to play that good, but he did. So
he was
it
a
wasn't a
5-star. He was a 5-star kid coming out of high school. I mean, highly recruited, went to Bama, was only there for a little bit, and then left after Saban retired. So, I mean, he was wanted by a lot. If you commit and go to Bama, like, you're wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He goes to
He
Ohio
does have
State
more
and
experience under him.
he's been there for a year.
Year of practice.
Yeah, his true freshman season was last year when Ohio State had Will Howard and won the title. So he got to see a lot. That's a great learning experience for a
With
talented young
top
quarterback.
tier receivers, but
Exactly.
he still has to get it to him. Yeah.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, and then so we digressed a little bit.
How do we feel about our defense?
Back to Sherrone a little bit. Well,
under Sherrone and Wink.
That's been hit or miss too. It's looked great at times, and other times it hasn't looked very good. I mean, against USC, it looked like they've never played football before. I mean, I don't know how you travel out west and look like that.
I know
that game was
with Sherrone. I feel like from a media perspective, he's like 97% of what he says is like coach speak, like, and that irks me. It just irks me. I don't love it.
He brings in the recruits. I'll give him that. I mean,
he can recruit.
Recruiting classes are good.
He can recruit. He's a likable guy. He's young.
Players love him. Players coach.
Gets it. There are some wild rumors going on around about him right now. I'm not even going to get into that stuff until I just don't.
I don't know how much.
I don't wade into those waters, but whatever. I mean, I don't. I'm not going to do anything about that until I know something is 100% fact. People can go find out about
someone's livelihood. Yeah.
Exactly, and someone's livelihood, someone's personal life. I'm not bothering with that. But anyway, he's well liked by his players, by his fellow coaches. His coaches, his assistants say the most amazing things about him. But when I hear him talk at press conferences and stuff, like I said, a lot of it's coach speak, and then he has a tendency to dodge things, and that bothers me too. Like, someone will bring up the fact that, like, Bryce Underwood was 6 of 18 for 85 yards, and blah, blah, blah. He'll be like, but he won the game. Really good? Did you see the really good throw? Cool, dude. I don't care about the good throws. Can we talk about the 80 yards? Like, that's insane. That's insane for a talent like him and for college football these days. And I feel like you need to address those things. Like, look, he doesn't owe it to us at a press conference, but my problem is, it shows up again the next week and the week after that. So if you're not going to talk about it,
it's addressable.
I don't think you're addressing it in practice either, because it looks the same every week. And that's where because a lot of times I'll throw a complaint out there on Twitter or something, and some super fan will be like, he doesn't have to tell you anything. You're right, he doesn't. How about you fix it again as your job? Like, so those are the kinds of things I have some problems with. I don't know. I don't think Ward Manuel is going to fire him ever, like literally maybe ever. And unfortunately, on the surface, and that's good enough for a lot of people, they did go 9-3. Like,
it's not a fireable season. I mean, it's not a bad record. I mean,
I'm gonna pull up the tweet. If you, Dakota, again, and referring back to your article, I didn't read it word for word just yet, but what were some of the key points about whether he is or isn't the guy? I guess. I mean, like I said, I'm not saying fire him today. I don't think that's the move, but there have got to be some things. There's got to be some things that look different moving forward.
One thing I did read that maybe it's time to bring in a QB coach for Bryce. I don't know why they don't have one, but I think that would be something that could help him. I mean, he's so young, thrown to the fire. Like,
can you guys still see me here? I'm just popped out
on the side.
Yeah, we got you.
Okay, cool. A couple of the things was the performance in crisis. So he had that 4-0 record as acting head coach during the national championship run. So that was huge. Demonstrated some good leadership skills and some tight spots, especially that win over Penn State and Ohio State. The recruiting that we touched on, but obviously, like, losing a lot of that to the NFL and Jim Harbaugh going to another team. I mean, he was made up of so much more than just him. No pun intended. And now it's just more left by himself in a way as the head coach, right? Just to try to put all these pieces in place to make the most sense. And it just doesn't, like you said, seem like, man, these guys are put in the best place to succeed, whether it's the play calling, whether it's training, practices. Who knows what those look like? I don't know. Yeah. I heard under Harbaugh pretty good practices, but I don't know. So it's hard to say. Like you said, and is there one major thing, or is it accumulation of all these little things that's just not adding up to what the final product needs to be?
Yeah, and real quick, and we'll get out of here as we're approaching the 25-minute mark. The 9-3 record thing, a lot of people are like, "Oh, just give it time. 9-3, your freshman quarterback." Like, Here's the problem with that, and I'm going to credit Alejandro for this. I probably butcher his last name. Zuniga. He's got a tilde. Remember Tildes? Remember Tildes over in N? I don't know how to pronounce his name. Anyway, Alejandro. I know him well. He's on the beat. But he put an article out, and he said this is why Michigan's record feels hollow. Michigan beat one team with a winning record. That was Washington in the conference. They're 5-4 in the Big Ten. Their other wins came over teams that finished 10th, 11th, 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th in the Big Ten. Like, bro, you didn't do anything this year. You really didn't.
Yeah, that's some good work by him. Yeah, that's interesting.
Won the ones they were supposed to. I mean,
that's it. You know, Michigan rolls out a bet. And by the way, 21-16 over Purdue and 24-22 over Northwestern with a last-second field goal. Like, even the games you got wins over were not very impressive. And so, I don't know. I hate to be the downer when they're 9-3 and about to have a pretty good bowl game, but it feels the word hollow or empty. I feel like really, really applies to those 9 wins. I don't know. That's just
it doesn't look as good as the numbers show.
I don't feel great going into the bowl game. I don't feel great going into next season as far as like like again, there's just a lot of
promise. So young though,
much promise, but again, there was little to no development in many areas of the team. I mean, special teams a bit. Running game was the only thing to really talk about. Passing game abysmal. I mean, what else? I mean,
defense up and down.
The connection with Bryce and Andrew Marsh was good, but didn't show up in Ohio State. But I mean,
in a big game.
The previous 4 games, he was on fire. But
Zach, I want to come back to we'll finish with this because I have a little bit of a problem with it too at times. I guess I'd really need to take a dive into the other teams, I guess, around the country. But the youth thing is, I mean, Sherrone himself brings up, we're starting 6-2. First of all, he's making an excuse, man. Like, I don't like how he goes to that all the time. But do you think that's valid? I mean, do you think to say like, well, because my excuse is like, bro, there's young players all over the country making plays and helping.
I mean, Jeremiah Smith averaging a touchdown a game.
He's a freaking alien. But to your point, you can find people on rosters that are freshmen and sophomores helping.
But 6 of them.
It's a lot.
You know, a freshman to a junior is a big difference in college sports, especially at linemen, right? Where you get the push, right? And that's where we're getting beat is the trenches. You have a guy that's 2 years older is a brute. You know what I'm saying? Like, they could push around a freshman.
Yeah, Michigan started, played some young guys up front. I mean,
that's
again,
you skill players are different, right? They're not.
You hit it on the head. Like, Sherrone used that as a crutch. He mentioned it at probably 6 different pressers.
He knows. I mean, you still got to find a way to win. I mean, Nick Saban's not going to say that's an excuse.
That's true. I feel like other coaches don't say those things.
Or hit the portal. Bring in some older guys if you need to. I don't know.
And they did a little bit. They had Brady Norton was a transfer that was pretty coveted. He didn't crack the starting lineup. He played a little bit, I think. And, they did deal with some injuries. The 5-star kid that was
you can't expect so many linemen to be beat up. That's hard.
I don't know, man.
Even their 5-star phenom freshman that got, Andrew, how do you say it, Babola?
Babola, that's what I was talking about. Yeah,
he could have been a big piece, but either way,
it's just I find myself, I hate.
Gotta find a way to win.
I just want more. I want them to be better. I want them to perform. They have talent. Like I just said it a minute ago. They beat Purdue 21-16, and then I watch Indiana just boat race somebody off the field on their home field at night in a rivalry.
I can't wait to see Indiana versus Ohio State, man.
I'm like, what's Indiana doing? Like they have a roster full of players that didn't have a mission.
No one knows who they were. Yeah,
coaching.
It's
he's a wizard. I don't get it. Is it scheme? Is it practices? What?
Signetti is
what I would do for him, huh?
Boy, he is my.
He's probably got everyone bought in. Like,
just look at my record, I win.
Bro, they beat Purdue 56-3, dog.
With people that no one cared about when they were high school recruits
at Purdue.
I mean, look at all the best teams. Saban won how many? It's just coaching, and it trickles down from there. It's not like
they beat Oregon by 10 in Eugene. They beat UCLA by 50. They beat Maryland by 45. They beat Wisconsin.
He's making a statement.
Dude,
how could you say Ohio State's confidently better than them? I can't say that they're.
No, I don't think so either. I think I'll pick Ohio State to win, but
do you?
I mean, I would. They have so much more. It's like I just said. There's not a player on Indiana's roster that had an Ohio State
They got that
offer,
chip,
committable.
dude, that heart, the
So,
uncoachable heart.
56 to like. I just think I can't help but think about that one. I know the transitive property is not a thing in football. You can't be like, well, we beat this team, so we're going to beat this team. Like, I know that's not how it
Right.
works.
But you kind of graded on something. I mean,
But Michigan hosts Purdue and wins by 5.
probably because of the style of football, just anaconda, strangulate them to run it up their throats all game.
I'll give you an anaconda. They need to figure something. They need
Wow.
to figure something
That's
out.
it,
dude.
folks.
Uncle Chuckle's in the chat real quick. How about that, huh?
Love you, boys.
There he is. Little support.
There it
from the
is.
fam.
Hey, thank you. We got our #1 fan here. That's good.
So there you have it. It says there's 180 people watching us right now. I'm gonna think a lot of it's.
Thank you for the support, everyone.
Yeah, hey, if you are real, if you're a real human
Share.
and you just watched us, then we appreciate it.
Get us out there.
Share this, push it out on Facebook. We do appreciate it, and we're going to continue to grow things at Wolverine Roundtable. Also, in case you didn't know, also running the show at Spartan Roundtable, Tigers Roundtable, Lions, Pistons. We got 5 sites in our little Michigan hub. Super excited to get podcasts rolling with everybody. Got lots of really, really good content on all those sites. So go check them out. If you like Michigan, you probably like the Pistons. You probably like Tigers. You probably
don't
like
like Michigan State.
Yeah,
But you can see what they're doing.
Well, here's at least 2 real people. Okay, my dad.
Hey, another #1 fan, huh?
Showing up for us.
Joey's not here.
Hey,
Joey doesn't know how to use internet very well.
Uncle Bot, hilarious joke from Uncle Chuck there off the top rope. We'll take it all. We will take it all. So there you have it. Hey, here's another real human being.
Nick, all right, real human. Average at best.
Nick,
probably better.
Can't argue with that.
I'll leave on this note, and I think I may have said this to Dakota and Zach in a group text. That's very telling, in my opinion. If the Michigan job were open, it'd be 1A, 1B. I think with LSU, those are phenomenal, massive, huge, big time, top tier jobs.
Big money for NIL.
Big money, big support. The tradition, all that. They got it all. Michigan and LSU would probably be running 1A, 1B in terms of job openings. Every coach in America would take those jobs. If Sherrone Moore was on the job market and he was looking for a job, I don't think
State wouldn't even pick him up.
He's not getting any of these jobs. And
Toledo.
I'm not trying to drag him, but it's a fact, man. Like, you have to call a spade a spade. If it was that way, that's how it would look, and that's
yeah. And I guess you don't have to say he's a bad coach, but is he the best coach for Michigan? Maybe not.
It feels
it
feels a little bit like when Michigan hired Juwan Howard. I mean, you love the guy. He was a Fab Five legend. Had a long track record of doing well as an assistant, but had never been a head coach before, and it didn't work out very well. I mean,
we need to find our Dusty May.
Oh, Dusty!
Speaking of,
we didn't even talk about
basketball.
Good Lord,
unbelievable. Let's talk about it next week. After this
episode.
Michigan State matchup, we'll see what we have to say about it.
There you have it. Dakota Allen, Zach Besaw, Brandon Brown, the Brain Trust at Wolverine Roundtable. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you soon.